Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3.
Well, today is just one of those days where, the rain goes away, the blue sky comes out, and you go, time to go for a ride, time to have some fun. And there's nothing better to do it in my opinion, than an S3. This one's really cool because it has the black Optic package. It's got the great wheels, and you'll also notice red brake calipers. It's got tinted windows, so it looks extra devilish, but inside we have our Bang & Olufsen. We have actual sport seats, which have a great quilted leather look, and they're actually really comfortable. They even have manual controls. So remember that whole mantra, keep it simple and add lightness? Well, I don't have to worry about power seats, adding a bunch of weight. I don't know how much weight this really saves, but in reality, this is like, maybe for some of you, kind of bare bones. But for me, it just checks all the boxes. A lot of those M2 buyers, a lot of those original 135i buyers are like, I want the original true sports car experience that we used to get in the 80s and 90s, or at least the early 90s. And I think it's back with something like this. So I'm going to drive it, do a 0 to 60, let you hear what it sounds like. So let's get started. I can turn the AC on, and then that would drown out a lot of the noise you want to hear on this awesome S3. Or I can turn the fan down, and I can start sweating like crazy, and you can hear the glorious S3. I think I'll let you hear it. It's worth it. So, roll camera. Now, if you're not familiar with Audis, I do have an Mmi system here. So basically, with the Mmi system, I have a trackpad built in here that I can use to find a place of navigation. So I would just go to destination here, and then point of interests, right? And then I can go search immediate vicinity and find entry. Basically now on this screen I can type in like C O F E coffee. So it's going to find everything with coffee in the name. I have, Google Maps and Drive Select, which allows me to choose the different modes I want this car to be in. Today we're going to go in dynamic mode, which is different throttle mapping, more aggressive shift patterns. I'm also going to drop the transmission into sport mode, which increases the revs at idle, dumps the clutch a little harsher, makes the gear changes much more snappier and effective in the dual clutch. This is an S-tronic. It's not a standard automatic. It's a dual clutch automated manual. So I have paddles. I have everything that I want for sporting credentials in a car that I would want to take to the track, or at least want to go ripping through some canyons on a really nice day. I can have the screen on. This is a great thing about the A3 models, is I can have the screen up, or instead of having the screen like this, I can push this button and the screen goes away. So I have nothing to obstruct my field of view, even though this doesn't actually block anything looking out. At least I don't have anything grabbing my attention off the road. I can keep my eyes out on the track, looking ahead and not being distracted. And the gauges are awesome. I have a boost gauge actually. It's just fun. This is a fun car. And whether we want one now or whether you're thinking about one years from now, I'm doing this for you. I don't get paid for these videos. I do these for you. So thumbs up if you like them, share them, subscribe for more. I do this for you. And let's get going. Drop it in drive, put it in sport. You heard the RPMs kick in there. And now we just drive off. So I have an extra camera here. You might be hearing it flop around. I'm sorry about that. Put it in the cup holder here. All right. We're just gonna leave this parking lot. Gonna adjust my mirrors on the way. Always check your mirrors. Okay. Now I have the fan speed down low. You're gonna hear nothing but the car. So I won't talk about the sticker price on this car just yet. It is fairly stock. I mean, I do have Bang & Olufsen, and I do have the sports seats, and I do have the black optics package, and a few little ancillary stuff. But this isn't basically, this isn't the full lusty one, I think. Or maybe it is. I don't know. It's a construction zone back there, so I can't take liberties just yet. And I'm going to adjust this to stop all that nonsense. Tell you what I'll do. So that's interesting. I didn't turn the car off. I put it in park and then put it back in drive, but I actually remembered I was in sport. So it's back in sport, and you can hear it. Now if I put it back in drive, listen. See, it calms down just a little bit. That's cool. Let's put it back in sport. Oh yeah. Okay. This camera might be bouncing around a lot. This car actually does have a pretty firm suspension, so you're gonna see that in this thing bouncing and jiggling. Sorry. I do have Quattro. It's not the Quattro you're thinking of. It's the other Quattro. So it's Haldex, meaning that it's just like the TT. This is actually based on the same platform, the MQB platform that the TT is on. The A3 shares, and so does the new Golf. So these are literally all the same platform-wise. And, you know, it's really heavy traffic today, but I'm going to take it up on the freeway for you. I think I will do that after I give you a 0 to 60, because I'm going to do that right here. And then, after the 0 to 60, I'll put another camera up, and things I think will look better. Here we go with our 0 to 60. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn traction control off. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is make sure it is in sport. It's in sport. I'm going to put drive select in dynamic. I'm going to keep my foot on the brake. Yes. I'm actually going to do that again. Okay, so we're going to do a 0 to 60 launch using launch control. All right, book it. Oh, yeah. You know, personally, it's just a fun little car. This isn't anything serious. I wouldn't say this is a serious thing. There are other cars with more power, obviously. And there are other cars in different price ranges, obviously, that do different things. But for some cars and some people, this is a good fit because this is not their normal, regular, everyday car. Or for some people, it is, and then they have an even more insane car for the weekends. But I think normally you can't go wrong with a package like this. Now, it's not downshifting as much as I thought it would. It's only going one gear down, which maybe it has something to do with turbo lag. God, the traffic is horrendous. Now, these seats are good. You may think you're leaning way back with your head, but if you have a helmet for the track, all that space right here is just enough to keep you in a good position. So what I would say is if you do want a track car, and this is one of the contenders, it has a good position on the headrest for comfortable helmet driving. This is a notoriously noisy stretch of road, so the car does sound a lot louder than on a different road. When I get off the freeway, you'll hear the difference. It's coming up. Or maybe not. I'll just drown you out with some exhaust noise. I love the paddles. I hate the traffic. This is the thing too, you know, you could get a more powerful car than the S3, but on a day like today, are you gonna use it? Do you really need 560 horsepower? Do you really need all that? No, you don't, because there's nowhere to go. So the best thing you can do is just have, look at that, they're completely freaking stopped. I got off just in time. Anyway, what you need is something to get you from A to B as quickly as possible, maybe, or with as much fun as possible. And this is up there. It really is. There are others, yeah. But, you know, that A4 that I drove, you saw that A4, that was like 51,000. This is basically the same cost. And you're getting a much smaller car. But if it's just you, or you and a girlfriend, or a spouse, or boyfriend, whatever, a friend, you basically have a car that's good enough for both of you. Now, there is the TT and the TTS. And if this is basically, maybe you feel the seats are a little too high up, then try the TT. The TT is a little bit more sleeker and has a hatchback, so you may have different needs. Maybe you don't need a back seat at all, so you're on your own there. But I've never seen such bad traffic trying to fill it with blah 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 blah. Anyway, besides sport mode and drive, I can actually knock this into manual mode, and now I have manual control. I can use the shifter to do it. Fucking pricks. I can use the shifter to shift gears, or I can use the paddles. I think I'll do manual mode because there's a big U-turn thing coming up. If you've seen my RS7 video, this is the same loop, but with traffic. And I've never seen this. It is a Friday. This is such a waste of footage. You know, I don't think this is a car I could get excited about. This is a car where I could just make a decision. Yes, I'll do that. Yes. And based on what it delivers, which is the Bang & Olufsen kicks ass, actually. No, I don't think so. These people royally suck. Finally. Now, obviously the RS7 handled that a little differently, but this is like, I want some fun, and I don't need to go crazy ballistic fast to do it. So yeah. So if you're in that mode all the time, this is good. This is a good thing. I would just say the one downside here, and this is why people would say, oh, you want the RS3, which isn't here yet. But, you know, as much as you put your foot in this thing, and as great as it sounds, literally, that's everything. That's all you're going to get. There's no threshold where you go, holy moly, I should tone it back. It's just basically your foot's in it, and that's everything. And it takes a little bit to build up, but then you look down and you realize you're doing more than the speed limit. So, you know, it depends on how big of a speeding ticket and how big of a check you want to write. It's all up to you, really. Then again, I do like the A3 2.0, but this is just, you know, this to the A3 2.0 is what I think the RS7 is to the S7. It's so much different. And basically, you're getting the same car, but you're getting one that is tuned. And the S3 compared to the 2.0 A3, this feels highly tuned. It feels not skittish, but it feels very tense and driven. And I think that's basically a good thing. The RS3, that will be an animal. That's a beast. But the S3 is a good choice. Someone lost a bumper. You can escape danger quickly in this thing. I actually like driving this with the paddles more than anything else. I like the control I get in here. The steering wheel feels great. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's just right. And literally, for me, the seats are just a little too high. These are the sports seats. It's like the 235, the 2 Series BMW. They also had seats that felt pretty high up. Brakes are strong. Downshifting is awesome. the thing to consider here is that even in heavy traffic, right, is something like the RS7 is yelling at people, it's shouting at them. It's basically reprimanding people for going too slowly or getting in your way. And the S3 kind of is loud, but it doesn't really get too much attention, and that's a good thing too. You know, some people don't need attention at all, and it's kind of subtle. You know, some people hate the look, some people love the look. I happen to think it just blends in just right. That's actually the magic of a car. A fast car should be something where you can be overlooked. I want to be overlooked. Always. Tracks. That looks nice. Okay. Traffic is this crap. But you can short shift in this thing and still scoot along. I mean, I'm manually shifting at whatever point I want, and it's doing it for me. So that's a good thing. I'm not being held hostage by whatever the car thinks I should be doing manually. You know, when I used to live in LA, the traffic would be so bad that I wouldn't bother going home. I would just go get dinner and then go home at 9, 10 o'clock at night. And here, right now, it's 2:55 p.m. It's taken me over 55 minutes to shoot this video. And I feel like getting a coffee and a cigar and just waiting for Friday to end before trying to get home. It is that bad today, and I'm sorry. I want to thank Audi of South Austin for letting me drive the S3. I haven't driven one in a while, and it's great to get back in the saddle. It's just a fun little peppy car that, you know, fits the bill. I mean, you want to have fun, you want to be compact enough for the city, and you want something to take out of the city and enjoy on some twisty mountain roads, and this definitely qualifies. There's also the TT. But if you needed a back seat or 4 doors, think about it. Thanks for watching.